in NFL free in NFL free agency news. The Los Angeles Rams have signed former Seattle Seahawks linebacker Bobby Wagner to a 5-year contract worth $50 million. Also tonight, we recap the college basketball men's Final Four. Kansas destroys Villanova 81-65 in an epic showdown between Duke and UNC. The Tar Heels held on to beat the Blue Devils 81-77. Who will be the college basketball champion in 2022? Kansas or UNC? It is that time once again, sports fans. It's showtime. From the gridiron to the corner, talking all that is sports. Members of the Busted Open Nation bring to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Ezra Vickrey, Joey Thornton, Kevin Rory, and Randy Giron.
All right. Take two, everybody. Man, that was a rough going. This is why I hate technology. Fuck that. F-bomb for 30 seconds into the show. Let's go. All right. Welcome to our next show, everybody. We apologize for the earlier technical delays, of course, with technology, especially newer computers. It's all whacked out. I'm glad you're all with us. Thank you for joining us. We got a lot to talk about. We got the NCAA Final Four and the championship game to cover. We got NFL free agency. We got opening day coming up this Thursday for Major League Baseball. We got a lot to talk about. It's going to be a great show. As you know, we're kind of down a few people. Stephen Wyan actually is at the Wolfgang Van Halen Mammoth WVH show. But from what we just heard, from what I just read on Facebook, that the tour has been postponed with 6 shows left. I don't know if that means Steven's show tonight is canceled, but I do believe that tonight's show will be postponed. I don't know. So it's looking like he may not be there for that. And of course, our buddy Kevin Rory, he's got some stuff going on at home. He's taking care of that. He may or may not join us throughout the show. That is going to be a game, as they say in sports, a game time decision. But we got a good crew with us. Let's get them on. We got right here, of course, our Oakland Raiders guy here, the one and only Mr. Randy Giron. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on tonight? I was having technical difficulties too, so it's all good. Just to get here to this point and be on the show, I was having some stuff going on, so I'm just glad to be here. Thanks for having me, of course, and looking forward to a great show.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great show. And then, of course, with me, I got with us, our buddy here, Joe. Don't not call him JT, Justin Timberlake. Thornton, what is up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening, no matter where you are. And I got to say, real quick, despite all the wrestling that we saw this past weekend, I think my favorite moment was the anything goes match between Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. My God, I was laughing hard.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I'm ready for another sports show. So let's get the ball rolling. Let's get it.
I agree, man. I mean, yes, this was a big, busy weekend for wrestling. I mean, you had 12 different shows from GCW and Mission Pro and everything else. You had ROH, you had WWE, of course, with 2 nights of WrestleMania. That'll all be discussed on the Nation's Corner coming up this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/The Nation's Corner. And, of course, some of our Nation's Corner crew, including our buddy Tony Justice, the one and only Christina, and of course Debhausen with Seth Moyer. They were all there, and Chad from Albany, Chad Koenig. They were all there live in Dallas for Mania and for corresponding events. So I'm excited, including WrestleCon. So I'm excited to hear some of the stories they have for us this week. And of course, like I said, Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on their channel. Don't forget to follow Too Sweet Cosplay on all of our socials. Or that's my channel, 2 Sweet Cosplay. Don't forget to follow Our Nation Sports Show at Owen_Sports Show on Twitter, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and of course, Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Also, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe on our YouTube channel so we can get to the 100 subscriber mark, and that way it'll make it easier for us to share content with you and for you guys to find us, because with the custom URL, we can share content between each other a lot more easier. Well, let's get right into it, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Let's just get right into the Final Four. And man, what a Final Four it was. It came down in the end. It came down in the end to the Kansas Gamecocks and the Tar Heels. In what was another epic battle between two of the best. Of course, University of North Carolina had a 15-point lead at the half, but would end up losing the game by 3. In what was a battle between both teams. Just they went on basically almost a 21-1 run just to get back into the game, and they were able to hold off a last minute out of bounds call with 4.3 seconds on the clock, and then a pass it by UNC to hold him off, and Kansas walks away with the national title. So I want to gauge your guys' thoughts on the game and the championship, and also just overall the Final Four and those battles that happened. Randy, why don't you go ahead and kick us off, buddy?
Okay, yeah. Hey, I was able to watch a lot of the Duke Carolina game as well, and that was pretty good. And I didn't really get to see a lot of the game last night. I was kind of following along on Twitter. I had to unfortunately get up early, but I knew that I thought Tar Heels had it, had it in the bag. I don't know. That Kansas team was good. I remember watching Kansas a lot during the season. They had a really good team, I thought, and so I knew it was going to be a good game, either with Carolina, and Carolina surprised everyone with their great run, even putting out. I figured that Duke would win it out for Coach K. I was very surprised at that, but kudos to the Tar Heels for that great run, and congrats to Coach K on that great career, awesome career, and to Bill Self for that great coaching job he did during this season. I think they were number 1 a couple times, but they definitely turned around and got hot when it mattered in the tournament. So kudos to them.
Absolutely, Coach K, man. He, like you said, made it to his record 13 Final Four, and it was an epic battle. But Coach K's run came to an end. Now he officially goes into retirement. Unfortunately for Duke fans, including our buddy Kevin, they were not able to walk away with that national title one more time for him. But I mean, Coach K has nothing to be sad about, nothing to be unhappy about. They gave it their all. The guy has had a legendary career. Now he gets to ride off into the sunset. But man, that game, like I said, it was just a tight-knit contest. Lead switches, especially in that second half. I mean, once once Kansas started to get the ball rolling and started making shots, they really started to push the pace with North Carolina, and really I think that's what they, and like you said, Joe, in the pregame, I didn't think that they wanted it more. I don't think that North Carolina wanted it that bad. It seemed like they weren't playing to the best of their ability, and it seemed like, they got comfortable with that lead and they got complacent, and then that's when Kansas decided to just attack, and then he ended up putting the boot on the throat with that last with that last 2-pointer, 3-pointer, whatever it was. Unfortunately, I didn't see the game. I was only able to listen to it on SiriusXM, ESPNU radio. But so when they put that dagger down, that was it, and North Carolina was not able to recover, even with, like I said, that out of bounds call with 4.3 seconds left on the clock that gave them another chance. They tried, but even tried to do a deep three, and they weren't able to get it done. And that's what sealed the fate of North Carolina this season. So, Joe, what are your thoughts on the NCAA Final Four and the championship game?
Well, in regards to Kansas and Villanova, I wasn't really surprised at that outcome, because Kansas, of course, has a great team. Villanova lost their top scorer going into the game, so I knew that was going to hurt them. And I remember us all saying last week that it was going to be a double-digit point affair, and that's exactly what it turned out to be. Kansas walking away with the 81-65 win over Villanova. Moving on to the championship game, no surprise there. Now, the game between Carolina and Duke.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what can I say? I mean, Carolina knew what they had to do. They had to outplay Duke in pretty much all aspects of the game, which they did. And I will say the one thing that killed Duke more than anything in that game Saturday night was the rebounding. I mean, I was going back and forth between watching WrestleMania on my TV and watching the Duke Carolina game on my phone, and there were quite a few times that I was able to sneak some peeks at the Duke and Carolina game. Especially since there was something going on during WrestleMania at certain given points. But from what I watched in the UNC Duke game, which I pretty much watched the whole game, like I said, the one thing that killed Duke more than anything was the rebounding.
Yeah.
Because it seemed to me like Duke could not get a rebound to save their lives. I mean, when you have two stout, tall guys like Brady Manick and Armando Bacot pretty much boxing you out every chance you get and getting rebounds over you, and Duke getting flustered because of them getting those rebounds over you. And not to mention, Bacot actually broke an almost 20-year-old record when he lodged 20, I think it was like 22 or 23 rebounds in the game, which beat out Nick Collison's 2003 Final Four run of 21 rebounds in the game. So Bacot was getting rebounds, and most of them, I might add, were offensive rebounds. Carolina was putting up shots they were missing, but it didn't matter because Bacot was there to grab the rebound, and he either passed it to a wide open player or got the putback himself. So yeah, I mean, Duke played hard, they played strong, but they just couldn't beat Carolina for the last time. I mean, yeah, it was at first it was a sting in which Carolina beat Duke in Coach K's last home game at Cameron Indoor, but for North Carolina to beat Duke again, this time in the Final Four in Coach K's last game, I mean, yeah, I can understand Duke players feeling a little sting, but in the end, I mean, it was just Carolina that just wanted it more. And Kevin actually brought this up in the chat, and since he's more than likely not going to be on tonight, I'll bring it on for him, saying how after the game, Coach K went to Baycott after the game and told Baycott that he was his player of the year and how he played an excellent game out there and everything like that. And I thought that was a tremendous sign of respect from Coach K to Armando Baycott, seeing as how hard Baycott landed on his ankle towards the end of the game Saturday.
Yeah.
So I give kudos and mad respect to Coach K for approaching Baycott after the game to make sure he was okay. Now, in regards to the championship game last night, there's one reason why I can't stand the Carolina Tar Heels as a basketball team. And that is the fact that Carolina gets way too cocky.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I have seen it so many years past. Carolina gets a big lead on an opponent in such a big game, and they think that, oh, well, we got a 10-point lead at halftime. We got a 12-point lead, 15-point lead, 20-point lead at halftime. We ain't got to play in the second half. We got this game. We ain't got to go out and do nothing. Wrong. You're playing a tough Kansas team who, might I mention, had several different comebacks throughout the season. Kansas, yeah, it takes them a little bit to get warmed up, but once they get warmed up, they can't be stopped. And last night was another example. Yes, Carolina went on a 16-0 run and eventually went up by 16 at one point at the very tippy start of the second half. But after that, Kansas took over. They were able to get rebounds. They were able to get shots to fall. They were able to play some stout defense. And it just flustered Carolina to the point where they were like, oh my goodness, Kansas is coming back on us. We need to start playing some ball now. Come on, guys, let's go. But in the end, it was Kansas that walks away with their fourth NCAA championship and Bill Self's second since he became the Kansas Jayhawk coach. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was pulling for Carolina last night because I wanted to see the ACC, after having such a strong run in the tournament this year with 3 teams in the Elite Eight, 2 teams in the Final Four, I was wanting to see the ACC have a nice, add a tournament win to the state of North Carolina's resume. But like I said in the pre-show, Carolina just didn't want it bad enough. Otherwise, they would have continued the dominance in the second half that they used in the first half over Kansas. But, I mean, congrats to Kansas. Congrats to Coach Bill Self. And we're just already looking forward to next year.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a video message from the one and only Stephen Wyan himself. He recorded this yesterday after the end of the NCAA tournament. He recorded this for us due to him not being here. And yes, I did just confirm that tonight's concert that Stephen was going to, the Man with WVH show, is part of the postponed dates, and that they'll make them up at a later date. So Stephen, fortunately, will not be able to go. Will not be a show, and I'm pretty sure he's already in Charlotte, probably doing something else. Probably make it up for that lost time. But yeah, just if you guys could mute your mics and stuff for a second. I'm going to play this quick video from Stephen Wyan, and then we'll get our reaction for it. So here's a little message from our very own, the matriarch of this fucking show, Stephen Wyan, on the NCAA Final Four and the game between North Carolina and them. Here.
Going on, guys? I just wanted to make a video about my reaction to the Final Four and last night's championship game. First of all, guys, I know you guys got to do a phenomenal job tonight. on the show. Tonight, I'm going to be in Raleigh, North Kakalaki, rocking out to some live rock and roll, Dirty Honey and Mammoth WVH. Anyways, on to my thoughts on this crazy Final Four Saturday into the championship game on Monday night in New Orleans. So first of all, Kansas and Villanova. No surprise that Kansas absolutely destroyed Villanova 81-65 from both ends of the floor, offensive end, defensive end of the court. Not surprised. Now, on to the biggest game of the weekend. The people at CBS got it correct, making Duke and UNC be the game of the night, and what a game. It lived up to the hype. There were 18 lead changes, I believe, in that game. Back and forth, Duke and UNC went. Just a great game, a great all-around game. But either way, unfortunately, in a classic game, somebody has to lose. And unfortunately for me and Kevin, our Duke Blue Devils lost to the Tar Heels, 81-77 in an instant classic. That three-pointer by Love in that second half was an absolute backbreaker for the Blue Devils. And the biggest thing that hurt Duke in that second half, the turnovers, missing free throws, that killed Duke in that second half. And just that loss, man, it stung. It hurt so bad as a Duke fan, just like I know it hurt for Kevin as well, us being diehard Duke fans. But, man, Coach K, hell of a Hall of Fame coaching career, comes to an end in his Final Four appearance, his 13th appearance in the Final Four against their arch rivals, the Tar Heels. And now on to the championship game Monday. This is one of the craziest games that I can remember for a national championship in any sport, baseball, football, basketball, etc. In that first half, North Carolina absolutely dominated the Jayhawks on the offense and the defensive ends of that basketball court. You mean to tell me in that first half, Carolina was so focused, they were stopping Kansas left from right in that first half. The Jayhawks couldn't even make a single shot in the paint to save their lives in that first half, or a wide open jump shot, a three-pointer, you name it. They just couldn't get nothing going. And we're all on Zoom last night watching Raw going, what the hell is going on? Because Kansas, ranked number 1, is getting beat by the 8th-seeded Tar Heels. Now, North Carolina has been playing great basketball, during this, tournament and the rest of the way of the season, the regular season. So kudos to them for playing great, getting to the championship game. But as we all know, in this tournament, no lead is safe. Case in point, a few weeks ago, they took on, North Carolina did, the defending national champions, Baylor. They were up by 25 and absolutely almost blew the damn game. Baylor nearly won, but missed free throws, missed jump shots, turnovers, etc. cost them the game and knocking out the Tar Heels out of the tournament. So, back to Saturday. North Carolina beats Coach K in the Final Four game on Saturday night. Great game. But here's the problem if you're Carolina, and it happened in the championship game on Monday night. We were on our sports show chat on Facebook, on Messenger, talking about that Carolina win against Duke on Saturday. And Kevin, myself, Joey, and the rest of our guys, Ezra and Randy, were spot on. We said, Carolina, that's a great win for their school against Coach K and Duke, knocking out a Hall of Fame coach out of the tournament, getting to the championship game. Because I'm telling you, if Coach K and Duke would have made the championship game, they wouldn't have pulled the shit that Carolina pulled last night in that championship game against Kansas in that second half. So anyways, 40-25, North Carolina is up on Kansas in that first half at the end, up by 15 in the second half. Kansas scored the first 3 baskets or so to go on a mini run. And then the shit hit the fan for Carolina. You want to know why? Because they got too comfortable, up by 15 points, turning the basketball over, getting careless with their shot selection, taking shots that they shouldn't have been taking. Kansas, on the other hand, was taking what the defense was giving them. They were scoring their points in the paint in that second half consistently. When they were taking jump shots or three-pointers, it was being taken when it should have been taken. The mid-range J's, the three-pointers. They were not forcing these shots in that second half because Kansas was down by double digits, and they had to scratch and claw their way to get back into the game. So you mean to tell me, Carolina, don't give me this bullshit that I saw on Facebook that, oh, we're not getting any foul calls. We're not getting calls. The referees aren't giving us any calls. No, you blew the lead. It is not up to the referees going, oh, we're going to let Kansas back into the basketball game. No, you blew the 25-point lead against Baylor a few weeks ago, and you should have lost that game too. You know what? You know what I believe in? Karma. Karma just bit you in the ass, and you deserve to lose that championship game last night. Your big-time players did not show up when the game was on the line. Love was nowhere to be found. What is love? Not showing up when the game is on the line, when the chips are on the table. It is time to show up and show out on national television in front of a worldwide televised audience. Because when Kansas went on that run in that second half and they took the lead, they went on a 21 at first, excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. They went on a 12-1 run to start that second half. Carolina was 1 for their last 10 shots from the field. Kansas got back in the game with great defense, great shot selection, and all that good stuff. But in that final couple of minutes of that second half, we all knew that we're watching that game, that something crazy was going to happen in that second half. And when Armando Baitcon, can't even talk right now because I'm so hyped up after talking about this collapse by Carolina last night. When Baitcon fell to the floor, unfortunately, and hurt his foot trying to make a move to the basket, that was a huge, unfortunate turnover for Carolina. Kansas capitalized, went up by 3. And then on Carolina's second to last possession, Love took a shitty three-pointer, just forced it deep, not a wide open three, forced the shot, and no surprise, brick, just like Russell Westbrook and the Los Angeles Lakers. Anyways, Kansas gets the ball, and then they turn the ball over because one of their guys stepped out of bounds not once but twice. So Carolina fortunately got the ball back with 5 seconds left. Turns out it was 4 points, like 6 seconds or something like that or some shit. So anyways, Carolina gets the ball back, and then Love takes the ball, dribbles the ball a little bit, backs up to the three-point line, and takes a 3, and he missed it. Maybe would have shot the shot in rhythm, and they had a design play that had him wide open. Maybe he would have hit the basket. I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, Carolina, I'm sorry. You blew it. You had one job, Carolina. Win the damn game. And you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You lose. You get nothing, Carolina. You deserve to lose the championship game after you got so complacent, up by 15 points in that first half against Kansas. You had them dead on arrival, and you didn't get the job done. You were so happy that you beat Duke on Saturday night in New Orleans in the Final Four to send Coach K home. That was your national championship game, so to speak. But no, you deserve to lose. Good day, sir. you get nothing. As a Duke fan, myself and Kevin, we are happy that Carolina did not win this game. Either way, boys, have a great rest of your show. Love y'all. And I will be back live next Tuesday on our Nation Sports Show. Have a great rest of the show, guys. Peace.
Well, Steven has some choice words for University of North Carolina. And if I could encapsulate it in one thing, it would truly be this. Great point. Great points by Steven and great analysis there on the on especially on the championship game. Great points on the fact that just they blew it, man. They didn't step on the throat. They didn't finish the job, and that was their downfall. So I mean, I agree 100% with Steven's analysis.
Yeah, I mean, I agree completely too. I mean, see, and Steven also brought up a great point in the Final Four game in which Duke was getting careless and turning the ball over and not hitting free throws. I mean, that also killed them along with the rebounding. But I mean, that national championship game, oh man. I mean, I understand Carolina players and fans and coaches and whoever's associated with the UNC organization are waking up with a huge sting, knowing that their team gave up the biggest game of the year last night. I mean, I just don't know what to say anymore. I mean, Carolina just blew it. I mean, they had the game in their hands and they just blew it.
Unfortunately, sports are like that. I mean, some teams want it more, some teams don't. Apparently, North Carolina did not want it more. So, but definitely great analysis, guys, on the game, and great analysis on the whole Final Four as a fact. But yeah, Kansas Gamecocks celebrate their 4th championship. So, congratulations to Kansas.
Rock chalk Jayhawk.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey.
You know what? Let's go ahead. Let's get right into NFL free agency, guys. And the biggest news to come out of free agency was the signing of Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner signed a 5-year, $50 million deal worth up to $65 million with the Rams. So he's joining the recent Super Bowl champions, and they get a Pro Bowl linebacker who is a threat on the defensive side of the ball. So this is going to be, it's good news for Rams, bad news for the rest of the division. Randy, I know this stings a little bit in this for you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, at least he's out of he didn't come to the AFC West. I mean, good Lord, everybody's come. Seemed like everybody was headed that way. Yeah, I think that of course will make the Rams defense, just as much a threat as it was before, last season. And then, they lost Von Miller, but this is definitely going to help them out and hope that's the sting of losing him this season. But the Rams kind of made a lot of moves to kind of stay on top, and the NFC West is tough as well. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fits in over there, and I think he's going to do good, and we'll see what happens. There's some more free agent stuff I'm sure you're wanting to get into, but the draft will be coming up soon, and I can't wait to see some. I think there are going to be a lot of moves, wheeling, dealing. I can't wait for that. I love the draft every year, so it should be good this year for real.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely. Like you said, he is a great addition to their team. He's gonna be like you said, absolute threat. He can the guy knows how to get to the quarterback. He knows how to get to the ball. He's very, very smart football IQ. Great at getting through that offensive line. So he's one of the best. I mean, he's a Pro Bowl linebacker who's with a former Super Bowl champion team, more recent Super Bowl champion team. So I'll give him all the credit in the world on that front. Joey, your thoughts on the signing of Bobby Wagner?
Well, I'm going to give my analysis based on the Rams' timeline of events from winning the Super Bowl to now.
Yeah.
So let's see. February, they go out, win the Super Bowl against the Bengals. Immediately after the game, Sean McVay is talking about not being the head coach anymore. Aaron Donald's talking about retirement. And all of a sudden, the Rams' future looks bleak. And then it gets even more bleaker whenever Von Miller left the Rams to go sign with Buffalo for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams were like, oh my gosh, we're losing all of our players. And we may lose Odell. So what are we going to do now? Well, McVay remained as a head coach. Smart move there. Aaron Donald staying with the Rams organization for a few more years. Great move there.
Mm-hmm.
But then the whole Von Miller situation, the Rams front office was like, we got all this extra money. We just lost Von Miller to an AFC team. So what are we going to do now? Oh, I have an idea. How about we go sign Bobby Wagner away from Seattle? And that's exactly what they did. They signed Bobby Wagner as a replacement to Von Miller, and now the Rams' future once again looks bright. So the Rams are once again going to be a threat in not just the NFC West, but the NFC in general. And once again, the Rams have two huge guys that know how to tackle in Aaron Donald and now Bobby Wagner. So, Tom Brady, I don't know what you were thinking coming back to Tampa for another season because you're going to get your butt rocked once again. Because the Rams defense is going to be coming for anybody. They ain't going to be showing no mercy. And at this point, I would not be surprised to not only see the Rams back in the playoffs. I don't mind seeing them back in the NFC Championship. Heck, I wouldn't mind seeing them in the Super Bowl again because it seems that all the Rams do is load up and load up and load up. And that's all the Rams have done ever since they won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, Tom Brady, you may try to get the Bucs back in the Super Bowl one, maybe two more times before you finally, and I mean finally, decide to call it a career for good. But as long as the Rams have that stout defense, Tom Brady, you ain't taking the Bucs nowhere near the Super Bowl. So you might as well just quit trying and go home while you can because the Rams are going to be a threat for years to come. And that's pretty much it.
Quickly before Randy gives his assessment or what you just said on especially on Tom Brady. I know how much Randy loves Tom Brady.
Oh yeah,
and how much of a fan he is. I mean, underneath all that Raiders gear is a New England Patriots flag number 12, and underneath that blanket is a Tampa Bay Buccaneers Buccaneers. Oh, quit! Don't hide your true colors. Don't hide your true colors. But here we got a little question on YouTube from your father, William Giron. Nice to see you in the chat, sir. Hope you're doing well. Quick question. He says, who do you project will go number one in the NFL draft? I am not privy up to the draft specifics at this time. I know you guys probably are more. What are your guys' thoughts? Who do you feel will go number one?
I think Jacksonville will go defense. That guy out of well, I can't call him what I want to call him. I'll call him that team up north. We don't speak their. I don't speak their name. But that Hutchinson, he's a good player now. I don't think they can go wrong with taking him. They got a couple guys on defense. Let a guy go, one of their better players go on defense. I think he went to the Steelers. That Miles Jack, but I don't think they could go wrong with him or even the guy out of Georgia. Either one of those two will be a great fit to build around. Hell, that lineman was running 4 or 5, was doing great in the 40 and everything. That's scary fast for a big dude. So
oh yeah,
really go wrong with
what
that.
What was he like? 6 foot? He was like 6'3", 300 pounds.
Yeah, or
Something
bigger
like that.
than
Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He was running a 4.5. Come out of your
Yeah.
fucking mind. That's
You might want to test
insane.
him for. Test him first.
Yeah,
Well,
because that's
maybe
insane for a guy his size to be able to move that fast.
maybe somebody in the NFC South will take him and take out QB12 for me.
Oh my gosh. And that's what I wanted to see.
I'll send them a Christmas card.
All right. All right, perfect. Definitely you do that. Let's go ahead and let's get to the other news. Let's get into some more free agency and signing news. And this one is not really a free agency signing or anything. It's the end of a career. And that is the career of Frank Gore. After spending 60 seasons in the NFL, Frank Gore has decided to retire. He will sign a one-day contract with the 49ers to retire as a 49er, where he spent 10 seasons with the team. He's currently third in rushing yards by in his position at 16,000 rushing yards, 4.3 yards per carry, and 81 rushing touchdowns. He's second team All-Pro in 2006, five-time Pro Bowler, NFL 2010's All-Decade Team, the Art Rooney Award, the BCS National Champion, and then the most games played by a running back at 241. So Frank Gore, like I said, calling it a career of 16 seasons. What are you guys' thoughts on the legendary running back, the future Hall of Famer?
Well, I will say that Frank Gore has had a great career. He's played for so many great teams in the past. And yes, I'm not, and I repeat, not including the New York Jets and the whole great teams plan, because we all know the Jets are just absolutely flat out garbage, as they always are. But Frank Gore, I mean, definitely Hall of Fame worthy stats, 16,000 yards rushing, 4 rushing yards a carry. And Frank Gore, he is a tough, stout running back who knew how to get the job done whenever he needed to the most. But there's one really important statistic, and I'm going to be a little hilarious with this one. One little funny statistic about Frank Gore throughout his whole playing career. The guy never seemed to age. It didn't matter if he was 22, 25, 31, 35. Now he's 38 years old. The guy didn't seem to age. He looked the same every single year.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, how can somebody do that? I wish I could do that.
There's guys like that all around. You got Tom Brady who hasn't aged in years. You've got freaking you got so many players who have, for some reason, have the fucking fountain of youth, except for Aaron Rodgers. He looks like a fucking homeless person begging for change on the corner of Wagner Drive and Michigan Avenue in Chicago. But I digress.
Yeah.
I swear, I could see that dude wrapped in a long coat, looking like the dude on the Aqualung album cover from Jethro Tull.
With a
Goodness, that beard he
accompanist
had,
music.
especially in those early press conferences, were freaking rough, man. My God,
Yeah.
like he looked like he couldn't locate his shaver, so he just gave up. Said, "You know what? Fuck it. You know, I'll look like a caveman. Why not?"
Yeah.
I swear, he looked like Ringo Starr from the movie Caveman. Thunder, Luna Lana. But man, what a,
Oh
but yes, Frank Gore is fucking ageless, and it's crazy. And
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he even showed that in his playing ability.
God.
He was still playing at a high level. I mean, was he the Frank Gore of old? No, of course not. 16 years,
Mhm.
a lot of hits. That's going to age you physically quickly. But, you know, that dude played his heart out every single game. He never wavered. Yes, he had injury issues and was out for a couple of games here and there. Well, you got to think 16 seasons, 241 games. That is nothing to sneeze at, especially for a running back, because running backs are some of the most prone injured people on the offensive line because they take so much contact, whether it's concussion issues, shots to the knee, shots to the shoulder. You know, those are some of the most common injuries to those types of players, and he's able to continue that role as who he is. And yes, he's wasn't playing at the highest levels, but he was still playing at a level that deemed him as a threat to any team that he signed with. So with that being said, definitely a legendary career coming to an end. He's gonna be an NFL Hall of Famer. Don't know first ballot, but he definitely will be in there for sure. He's one of the best running backs to ever play the game for 100%.
Yeah, that is actually a great point that you brought up there, Ezra. The fact that Frank Gore played 16 years as a running back, you got all these running backs out there like Barry Sanders, Tiki Barber, John Riggins, all these amazing running backs who had such short careers because of all that contact that they took on the offensive line, because of all those concussions that they got, because of all those shots they took to the knee or to the arm or to the elbow or to the leg or wherever it may be. You had all these great running backs who just really couldn't take the pressure of being hit on a constant basis. But Frank Gore did it for 16 years, and Emmitt Smith, even though he played for the Dallas Cowboys most of his career, you got to respect Emmitt Smith, obviously, as a Washington fan, because you may not like him, but you got to respect him. But Emmitt Smith had almost a 20-year career as a running back. And not to mention, and Ezra, I'm going to be doing a little Chicago Bears reference here, Walter Payton. He went out and had a nice long career with Chicago, playing I think it was about 17, 18 years in a Chicago uniform.
Yep.
I mean, you don't see very many running backs nowadays that can play past 10 years or, if lucky, past 15 years. But Frank Gore playing 16 years at an elite level, or I would say above average / elite level, I mean, that's really saying something for Frank Gore. So my props to you, Frank Gore. You go out and enjoy your retirement, and I wish you all the best, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank Gore, one of the best, and wish him all the best too. Some other free agency news that I want to get into. Dolphins cornerback Xavier Howard has agreed to a new 5-year deal worth over $50.6 million in new money. As part of the deal, he has the most guaranteed money for a cornerback in NFL history. So
not surprising, because he was one of the best shutdown corners in the AFC last year. Nobody dared to throw his way because of how good of a defender he is.
yeah, definitely. This comes from Field Yates. He says the Dolphins and Howard agreed to a restructured contract prior to last season with the understanding that a new deal would be discussed this offseason. Miami takes care of one of the best players in the league and has a core piece under contract for 5 more years. And yeah, like you said, he's one of the best shutdown cornerbacks in the league. He's one of the best. And to me, I know the Dolphins are trying to build a team and they're trying to get back to, even some sort of prominence after the past couple of seasons have been kind of a failure, especially during the Jay Cutler years, So with that being said, I'm hoping this is maybe, yes, he's been around, but hopefully this is the start of maybe the Dolphins trying to restructure their team and trying to make even the slightest bit of noise. I doubt it, but with their history, but who knows? It depends on what decisions they make during the offseason, because we still got a little bit of time. We still got a couple months before NFL season begins, so we'll see what happens. But another big signing I wanted to talk about, actually a trade. And that is that the Dolphins, speaking of the Dolphins, have traded wide receiver Devontae Parker to the Patriots for a 2023 third-round pick, and they also gave up a 2022 fifth-round pick to the Patriots as well. So this right here, Parker lands in a perfect place of stability he's been wanting while Miami gains financial flexibility. So there we go on that. Other news, Saints safety PJ Williams is returning to New Orleans on a 1-year deal. This, of course, coming from Adam Schefter. Shout out to Adam Schefter, one of the best. What else do we have here? Right here. Big news here, not concerning free agency, but the Bucs co-chairman Joel Glazer announced earlier last week that Bruce Arians will be inducted into the Buccaneer Ring of Honor this season. Huge honor for Bruce Arians after getting Tampa Bay to two Super Bowl titles, I believe. Right? Was it 2 or 1? My memory's lost.
Only 1, thank God.
Only 1, thank goodness.
I was gonna say 2 just to piss Randy off.
It worked.
It made Randy's blood boil. Success.
Yes. Speaking of Arians, if my memory is correct, this happened after we went off air last week. But Bruce Arians is stepping down as the Buccaneers head coach, and defensive coordinator Todd Bowles is now the new head coach for Tampa. Signed a new 5-year deal.
Yep, absolutely. You are correct. Bruce Arians decided to retire from head coaching and has now got a front office position with the Buccaneers. So now, like you said, Todd Bowles, new 5-year deal. He will be the new head coach of the Bucs. So that leaves the question, with Arians gone, how does this new coach and his coaching style change the overall scheme of things for Tampa Bay in the way they play? Do they still play the way that they've always had, that same formula that got them to the Super Bowl and got them to the finals of other conference and divisional championships? Or do you see a new system coming in where it may hinder instead of help Brady and company? I know Randy wishes that would happen, but
Yes.
we already know that. Go ahead, Joe.
I would say I honestly don't know, and honestly I don't care, because I don't care about the Bucs. I don't care about Brady. I don't care about anybody involved with that Bucs organization, except for maybe Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, which are 2 elite wideouts. I would say hopefully they'll find success in anything other than Tampa Bay uniform. But I just got a creepy thought in my head. Coach with the initials TB is going to be coaching a player with the initials TB. Oh God!
Maybe they'll get TB, tuberculosis. That'd be awesome.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Screw COVID. Wow. Get tuberculosis. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I need a broken skull American lager after that. I think I got one cold in the fridge.
Oh God, that's a little creepy, if I do say so myself.
It's the
Oh
truth.
yeah, well yeah. Well, you said it might have been a creepy thought. You with creepy thoughts, who would have thunk it? I mean, really.
Yeah.
I mean that was. I mean that. Come on. That was more predictable than the main event of WrestleMania Night 2.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But yeah. I don't know either. It's going to be interesting to see how this all changes everything with the new head coach. Because as you know, with new head coaches have different styles. There's some that are offensively driven. There's some that are defensively driven. There's some that could have both. You know, it could be both offensive and defensive. Who know how to play, how to work with both sides of the ball. So it's going to be.
It might have mentioned Todd Bowles. His strategy is he knows how to lose games because he's coming into a team that, well, he doesn't have a winning record as a head coach. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Good transition. Speaking of people who lose games, Blake Bortles has announced that he has decided to he received his release from the Saints today after the signing of Andy Dalton.
Wow.
Great transition,
And,
right?
Blake Bortles had such a bright future.
Listen to this stat: 73 starts, 103 touchdowns. I hate to see the interception record.
You might just want to say it.
Go ahead and keep talking while I look this up.
But,
did I just find it? 75 interceptions.
Okay, well that's not
bad.
awful bad.
No,
it's not too awful bad. But Blake Bortles has such a bright future when he got to Jacksonville to the AFC Championship game a few years ago against the Patriots and actually almost won that game, if I do say so myself. But it just seems now that nobody's just wanting to give Blake Bortles a chance. And I understand he didn't come from a big college school. I mean, he came out of Central Florida, which hasn't really produced a lot of NFL talent over the years, but Blake Bortles has such a bright future, and I would hate to see his talent go to waste. Because, I mean, yeah, he's not at the level of a Patrick Mahomes or a Lamar Jackson or I kind of hate to say it, but you got to say it, Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, I mean, he's not at a elite level talent like that, but he's still a decent quarterback who knows how to make good decisions on the field. So hopefully somebody will give him a chance, and hopefully it's a team that he can actually find more success with other than Jacksonville.
Let me tell you this. Saying the name Aaron Rodgers is unbearable. It's unbearable. It's like 99.9% of Monday Night Raw episodes.
That's right.
But yeah, I do agree. I do agree with your analysis, though.
Of course, I will say though, we can't start calling Aaron Rodgers Karen because, well, that's what he tends to be now, is a Karen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
But I digress.
Yeah. To me, Blake Bortles, to me, I think needs to be in a system that's really going to help him. It's me. Yes, he's not got the best interception touchdown ratio record. He does not by a long shot. And the guy's been in the league 29 years old, but he's been in the league for a while. To me, I think if he finds the right system, I think that he could have some success. I don't know if it'll be huge level. While Joe over there tries to fix the cooler situation over there.
Oh, hush.
He's back in the closet again, like R. Kelly.
Oh, no.
But anyways.
Oh, come on now.
But anyways, there is but yeah, to me, I think he just needs to find the right system, the right coaching staff that'll help bring him forward and really get him going. To me, yes, he's not the best, but I think that with a little more coaching, I mean, we've seen some of these quarterbacks like that turn around and become great players. It's just a matter of, can they get the right system together? Do they have the right coaching staff? Do they have the right minds there to help build them as a better quarterback? Can they do that? And the question is, yes, there is a possibility, but you got to break those old habits.
Definitely. Well, today I learned that Blake Bortles was still in the league, so I wasn't even sure. So,
I know. I thought he was playing for the CFL by now.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's nothing against him.
Either
Nothing
that-
against him, but
either that or he was signing up for that U.S. football league.
I'm about,
Yeah,
to, I'm about to say he could always go to Johnny Manziel when he signed with the USFL.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean-
I'm surprised anybody wants to play with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
they gotta tie a pork chop to his neck so the dog will play with them. So
Who was that?
Everybody
Who was that? Who signed with Johnny Manziel? Was that Von Miller or some shit?
I don't know.
Somebody signed to play with Johnny Manziel. I'm like thinking, what? You signed to play with Johnny Manziel? You might as well just tie a sign around your neck that says we'll play for anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't- you're asking for it. He's no good.
Yeah. Back to some more free agency talk here. Tyrann Mathieu was spotted visiting the New Orleans Saints today.
No.
Photo came out on Adam Schefter's Twitter account of Tyrann Mathieu walking into the Saints front office. So apparently the Honey Badger's exploring his options.
Oh man.
And
He needs to go to the Raiders.
and a question
He
I have.
needs to go to Vegas. He needs to go to Vegas. That'd be all right.
Oh, please. Vegas already has enough elite level talent. Bring it to Washington because we need a corner. Or
So he needs to go to
No,
Indianapolis to
that's
play
right.
with Carson Wentz. Because Carson Wentz has to have somebody to throw to who's actually good.
Ha ha.
Damn.
Carson Wentz is made of glass. I swear he's so fragile he could be used in a GCW death match.
Where
That is
he
the
went.
truth.
Oh, speaking of that,
Where he went last. I'll probably give him 15 seconds against Nick Gage.
no, I'm talking about he's so fragile he could be a pane of glass at a death match. That's what I meant. But other news, Diana Rossini for ESPN said that the Tennessee Titans are not shopping or taking calls on wide receiver AJ Brown. They made it clear at the owners' meeting that they are currently working towards keeping Brown a Titan for the long term. So
and they need to because I mean AJ Brown is actually the best receiver Tennessee has left because I mean Julio Jones is there, but Julio Jones doesn't have the same intensity or the same youthness, I guess I can say, as AJ Brown does. Because AJ Brown is far younger than Julio Jones, and AJ Brown is a lot faster on the field. So, AJ Brown, as of right now, other than Derrick Henry, is the top offensive weapon for Tennessee right now. So Tennessee don't need to shop him.
No.
They need to keep him long term, just like Seattle needs to keep DK Metcalf if they at least want to taste a little bit of success this year.
yeah, absolutely. Tennessee last year had an elite team of players, and AJ Brown was one of them. AJ was one of the best wide receivers in the game, had some great numbers, played great ball. To me, if you let him go, that is a huge mistake, and that is going to put a hurt on Tennessee, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They need that wide receiver there, especially one of that level and that football acumen like AJ Brown is. They need to lock him down. But another couple quick news notes before we move on and get into a little bit of some basketball talks as we're close to the end of the season. Former Titans first round pick and linebacker Rashaan Evans reached an agreement for a 1-year deal to join the Atlanta Falcons. So he'll be with them. He'll be reunited with Arthur Smith. So that'll be interesting. Oh, I was gonna say the other dude's name, but I think I'll start cracking up laughing if I say it. Dean
What's
Pease.
that?
Just say it.
Who is it?
Dean Pease, Pees.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the best
God.
name. Yeah. Yes, he does. Oh wait, I mean yes.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Yeah.
Giggling like a fucking schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Speaking of free agency, speaking of draft, we were talking about the draft earlier. USC defensive end and outside linebacker Drake Jackson has 13 visits over the next few weeks. He's about to hit and stay on the road. So already, draft picks staying busy, trying to visit some offices to try and see what they can offer him when it's time for him to be placed in the draft. So it'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And especially
Draft-
with the
That's exciting.
NFL draft coming up 3 weeks from Thursday. So yeah, these college players, they're going to start doing some visits, and they've already had pro days. So it's now on to the meeting to see if they fit in with the team's future plans. So the NFL draft is coming up real soon. So pretty soon, it's going to be crunch time.
Speaking of great talented guys like Johnny Manziel, I posted a question in the chat to my dad. We'll see what he says on there. I asked him what he thought.
No,
about.
sir.
I
No.
asked him what he thought. I ain't stirring the pot. No, never. Not asking a diehard Browns fan of 70 years what he thinks of Johnny Manziel. I'm not stirring the
I can
pot.
tell you what he's thinking. He sucks.
I would say a better question would be out of the 20.
Why are you a Browns fan?
Yeah.
No, I would say that one,
Sorry,
and I would say out of the 25 quarterbacks that Cleveland has had in the past 30 years, which one has been his favorite and his least favorite?
I heard Josh McCown's looking for a job.
He'll tell you Bernie Kosar. Bernie's from Youngstown.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's where we're from.
I would say Bernie Kosar. Okay. I would say Kosar is the best quarterback that Cleveland has ever had.
Oh yeah,
that's really saying something. Seeing as how they've had 100, or it feels like 100 different quarterbacks since the franchise moved to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, Kosar gave him the best chance to win all those years, and just a couple little things here and there kept him away. John Elway, Ernest Biner.
I will say though, I think Tim Couch
You're gonna be
did
talking
a
to my
great
dad
job
off the ledge
making
here in a minute.
Sound like a winner.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking to my dad off the ledge here in a minute if we keep talking about all this stuff. But yeah, I do want to put this out here too. This is a Beastie Boys shirt, not a New York Jets shirt. It is definitely New York Jets color. I probably won't wear it again on this show.
Yeah.
So you don't think I'm a Jets fan.
Well, it's all right.
It is definitely a Beastie Boys shirt.
It's all right. Your shirt is actually not dark enough to be a Jet shirt because the Jets have the dark green color, not light green. So I think you're in the clear.
Yes. Yeah. I don't even know what shitty colors they wear. So I guess
you look like you raided the Riddler's wardrobe.
I did. I rated it from Batman in the 60s. Adam West.
Yeah.
Batman.
Oh yeah.
That Riddler. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, guys. Let's get into some NBA talk. Why don't we? We're getting close, man. The end of the season is upon us. Right now, tonight for tonight's games, it was announced, of course, once again, LeBron will be sitting out.
But the Lakers, we don't really have to say anymore other than the fact that the Lakers are now 2 games out of the play-in with 4 games to go, and they got to finish 3 games better than the Spurs to even have a chance at the play-in tournament. So, Lakers, way to go. You suck. You've always sucked. You're always going to suck as long as you got LeBrick, Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis, who doesn't know how to stay healthy to save his life on your team. So
Poor dude needs to be wrapped in bubble wrap.
yeah, so congratulations, Lakers. You're going to be out of the playoffs. Kobe Bryant is probably looking down on this Lakers team with his head in his hands, shaking his head, like where in the world did they go wrong with this organization? Because I'm scared to even be known as a former member of this organization because they suck so bad. I mean, congratulations, Lakers. You go out and you have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, and Carmelo Anthony all the same team. And what do? You're going to miss the flipping playoffs? Come on, man.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
You can't be doing that. That is not acceptable. Come on, Lakers. Get it together.
Playoffs? You're talking about playoffs?
Playoffs? Oh, yeah, I was talking about playoffs.
I know, that's something the Lakers have never seen.
At least not in a while.
Yeah, and hopefully it stays that way.
Hopefully it stays that way because, I mean, it's pretty much safe to say that their little Mickey Mouse Bubble Championship is not really seen as a championship at all. So, yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, all right, we'll do. Other news is that Lonzo Ball suffered a setback while rehabbing from a recent injury. So it's not looking too promising for the Bulls on getting Lonzo back to the game because Lonzo, despite his there's some previous issues with his success. To me, I think he's been one of the most efficient players Chicago has had. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, him and DeMar DeRozan. I mean, as long as DeMar DeRozan keeps tearing it up, the Bills. Hopefully the Bulls will get Lonzo Ball back for the playoffs, and if he can join the back for the playoffs, at least in some sort of capacity, expect him and DeMar DeRozan to just ball out as much as they can.
Yeah, I agree with you on that for sure. Some other quick news. Actually, we're gonna look at the standings real quick as of this point. Right now, the numbers pretty much 1 through 4 in the Eastern Conference are locked up. Chicago, of course. Chicago and Toronto are in 5th and 6th spot, still battling it out. Chicago has the tiebreaker right now. So it right now, Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, and Philly have the numbers 1 through 4 spot, with Cleveland, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Brooklyn all fighting for the play-in. The Knicks are 6 games back and pretty much done. They're eliminated. Pretty much all those teams, 11 through 15, are pretty much done at this point.
Yeah, because Charlotte and Brooklyn, I saw earlier, have clinched their spots in the play-in tournament. So now it remains to be seen at where Charlotte and Brooklyn are going to land in the play-in tournament, because even though they're 9-10 right now, anything can happen in this last week of the regular season.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be really, it's going to be a close one for sure, especially with Chicago and Toronto. Like I said, Chicago has the tiebreaker right now. And then of course you got Cleveland creeping up with three games back, and then Atlanta only 1 game behind them, and Charlotte, Brooklyn are tied, with Charlotte having a tiebreaker, but only 1 game back from Atlanta. So it's going to be highly contested between those 7 to 10 spots. And then you've got in the Western Conference, you got Phoenix, Memphis, Golden State, and Dallas, who basically got their spots taken care of. Denver and Utah are tied with the same number of games, but with Denver having a tiebreaker. And then the 7 to 10 spot is Minnesota, Clippers, Pelicans, and Spurs. Really, the only close ones in that one are the Pelicans and the Spurs are only one game out, or 1 game between each for the 9th and 10 spots to be flipped. And of course, like you said, the Lakers are technically only 2 games back.
They are, but if the Spurs win tonight against the Nuggets and the Lakers lose to the Suns tonight, then that pretty much means the end of the Lakers' road. Because even if the Lakers and the Spurs finish with the same record, the Spurs own the tiebreaker with them beating the Lakers twice in the regular season. So technically, the Spurs would still get to play and nod over the Lakers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be hotly contested these next couple of games, man. We only got a few games left. Should be a pretty good playoffs. So let's go real quickly to some other NBA news before we get on to one or two other little subjects before we close out the show. Let's see right here. It says that Herb Turetsky, the longtime Nets official scorer, has passed away at the age of 76. He played with the Nets. He began with the Nets in the 84-85 season and worked 1,465 straight games in the regular season and the playoffs. So he is an absolute legend of this game. He went on to score more than 2,200 games, a record for pro basketball games that was certified in the Guinness Book of World Records. So yeah, he's a scoring legend for that franchise. So definitely condolences to the family and friends of Herb Turetsky at this time. Also, like we said, with let's go to the scores actually here. Let's go to the scores here right now. We got Philly and Philly, Indiana in the third right now, 92-70 Philly over Indy. Yeah, Orlando, the Magic beating the Cleveland, whatever their names are, I don't even know anymore. Cleveland Cavaliers, 77-73. Brooklyn, the Nets are beating Houston right now, 55-41. Miami's beating Charlotte, 56-54 right now in the second. 54-52 Toronto leading over Atlanta. 19-10 Milwaukee leading over Chicago. 31-27 Washington over the Timberwolves. 21-20 Portland over the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, the Spurs and the Broncos. Memphis and Utah. And then at 11 p.m. Eastern, you've got the Kings and the Pelicans. And then at 11:30, and then or at 10:30 Eastern, so I would say, the Lakers and the Suns, which that should be a complete and utter massacre. So,
Wait, one question.
What's up?
Is the game in Phoenix or in Los Angeles?
Looking that up right now. This game will be in Phoenix.
Yep, it's going to be a freaking utter massacre. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. Man, Lakers fans, I am so sorry. Oh, wait.
I'm not.
Oh, wait. No, I'm not. I'm sorry.
I love it. All
right.
Good riddance, Lakers. Good riddance.
Let's see real quick here. Looking at this right here is that the real quick in the world of the National Hockey League, Marian Hossa, who was a Chicago Blackhawk for a number of years, won championships with the team. He will sign a one-day contract and retire as a Chicago Blackhawk, which, of course, that team is very, very special to me, being not only from the area, but also that was my late dad's favorite team outside of the Cubs and the Bears. And we just lost Randy Giron. Don't know what happened there.
Again.
This dude's internet has got more problems than freaking Aaron Rodgers does with vaccinations.
And what Antonio Brown does with finishing a game.
I know. He just pulled a LeBron. You left before the show's over. Damn you.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
No. But yeah, Marion Host is a legend. The man has won multiple Stanley Cup titles with the Blackhawks. They called him Haas because of his size and his ability to hit. But the man was also a good scorer too, man. He right here, Marion Host, let's see some of his stats. Of course, he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2020. Played right wing. He has won. Let's see, how many titles has this man? Many titles has this man won? He's won. Yeah, he won the Stanley Cup. He played in 3 consecutive Stanley Cup finals with 3 different teams. He won 2 Stanley Cups. He won 3 Stanley Cups with Chicago. And unfortunately, his career came to an end at 2018 due to a health condition, a progressive skin disorder that prevented him from wearing his uniform, and he had to retire. So yeah. So let's see. What did he say? Oh, his internet keeps being dumb. Well, not shocked.
Yeah, because his picture kept freezing.
Oh, okay. That's fine. But yeah, so we got that with Marion Hossa. Let's check real quick for MMA news before we wrap it up a little bit early today, just because of the just news has been kind of a little bit iffy lately, so we'll see. But Bellator's upcoming Bantamweight Grand Prix, unfortunately, has been experiencing issues with fighters not being able to make it, whether due to injury or COVID or whatever case to be. Josh Hill, who was supposed to be in the Bantamweight Grand Prix coming up, has announced that he is out with an injury. So that's another blow to that. Also coming up, fight-wise, as far as the next UFC pay-per-view, I believe it is UFC 273, which is this weekend. It's going to feature it looks like a title fight between, it's a featherweight title fight between Alexander Volkanovski and the man known as the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. Also, Aljamain Sterling, who has been dominant in the bantamweight division, will take on the interim champion, Peter Yan. Also on that card, Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres. Vince Pichel will take on Mark Madsen. And Gilbert Burns will take on Kazimek Kiamev. It's going to be, and also on their former Ultimate Fighter contestant, Raquel Bennington, will also be on the card, and as well as the man who defeated CM Punk, Mickey Gall. He will be on that card as well. So check that out on ESPN Plus, the pay-per-view providers, UFC 273, or go watch it at your local sports bar. That's what I do. I take the night off, go to the sports bar, go eat wings, and get a little tipsy. But that's just me. But yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
No. That's fine. I think Randy is calling in. He's connecting. Here he is.
Welcome back.
We were just about ready to we called you the LeBron of the show because you left just before the show ended.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. We knew you had some technical problems. We've all had technical problems this evening.
I know.
Except for me.
As his screen's not on.
Your technical problems, you're sitting in a closet.
Yeah.
Nah,
maybe we should all try that. Maybe.
If I sit in my closet, you're not gonna be able to see anything.
Oh, nice.
There's so many black T-shirts in there. It looks like I'm sitting in the infinite abyss of the darkness.
Hey, it's all right. You could be like Edge.
I look like the inside of pro wrestling tees.
Yeah. Edge with his new dark persona.
Yeah, it's my more evil side. If I had one. It's like a Fairly Odd Parents meme. This is where I put a trophy. If I had one. Yeah, that one definitely goes to LeBron.
All right, here we go. Here's a Chris Collinsworth for you. Now here's a guy who has a bunch of black shirts in his closet.
For even mentioning that here's a guy thing, I should slap the piss out of you, but I won't.
I changed my name too, just for you guys.
Oh God, no! Don't call yourself LeBron.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm late.
All right.
So,
All right, guys, let's close this show out before it gets too silly. But
Yes, sir.
before we go, I just wanted to say thank you for everybody for being patient with us through all the technical difficulties, and all that stuff. So it's been a rough going, but we got it taken care of. We got the show off the ground. So definitely go ahead. Final thoughts, starting with Randy.
Great show, even with the technical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, this show's been pretty great for me. Cathartic, even to kind of come on here and escape a little bit and hang out with you guys and talk some sports and all that. And just so you know, on NXT just now, Gunther challenged Braun Breaker, so I just threw my wallet at the screen.
Of course, I knew.
I was
I
throwing
knew
my
this-
wallet at the screen if they change his name back to Walter.
Yeah, that's true too. I don't understand that. crap.
Yeah,
This is me off.
I
but
knew.
I don't want to
knew
get
it was-
into a
I knew it
tangent
was
about
only
that
gonna be
because
a
I could
matter
go
of
on for
time.
20 minutes about that and
yeah,
Butch.
I agree.
And Butch,
Butch.
I don't want to get into that because I will fucking lose my shit over that.
Yeah.
Let's not go there. Let's
Yeah, we're not gonna go there, but I do want to say real quick. I knew it was only gonna be a matter of time before he challenged Braun Breaker. But Randy, continue.
Yeah. Like I said, that was on there, and there's a couple other things. Imperium imploded as well, which is pretty
Oh.
great. Yeah.
Whoa, what?
Eichner walked out on Bartel before my internet broke. So
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
probably
Wow.
after the NXT Tag Team title loss to MSK at Stand.
God, what's his name was bleeding hard way too. Bartel was bleeding all over the place. It's bad news.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like I said, thanks for having me again as always, and hopefully next time I will have a little better internet. It's a bad storm. I don't know if it's bad your way, Joe, but it's pretty bad here. Or it was.
We just had a little bit of rain and a little bit of thunder here and there, but nothing too serious.
Yeah, I think my cat has something to do with it, but he's crazy.
Gotta blame the damn cat for everything. What the hell is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, why do I have almost diabetes? Oh, it's the cat. Okay, sorry. I blame him for everything.
You said it right. Diabetes. Wilford Brimley. Diabetes.
Why do they call it diabetes, not livabetes? I don't know. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for having me as always, and back to you.
All right, Joe. Final thoughts.
I hate that we were short two guys tonight. Steven, I hope and even though your show got canceled tonight, I hope you have a great time tomorrow night. I hope Kevin gets his little situation worked out so that he can be back with us next week. But
Yep.
great show with you guys. Great analysis on the Final Four situation, and just ready to watch the Lakers sitting at home watching the playoffs this year, which is going to feel so pretty doggone sweet. I can't lie. I love it so much. But yeah, once again, another great show with you guys. Ready to have the full crew back next week. So in the meantime, Ezra, close us out, man.
Will do, guys. Thank you guys for joining us there at home. Of course, everybody enjoy all the sports this week, whether it be basketball, whether it be other things. Definitely we'll be back next week. Of course, same time, same place. So the whole crew should be back and ready to rock. Can't wait to have them all back. Of course, don't forget, you can check out our friends, The Nation's Corner, where they will be talking about some of their experiences at WrestleMania, including Tony Justice and Debhausen, who were there live and in person, and also our very own Christina and Seth Moyer, who were also there too. Of course, the main crew on that show is, of course, Debhausen, Front Row, and Tony Justice. Check them out. Like I said, youtube.com/Tenacious Corner, facebook.com/Tenacious Corner, discord.gg/Tenacious Corner if you want to join us in the Discord and hang out with us, and also to call into the shows as well. And of course, don't forget to follow my cosplay group, Too Sweet Cosplay, at Too Sweet Cosplay. Some announcements coming soon on our next appearance and our next appearance at a con and where you might find us. Also, of course, you got to follow Owen_Sports Show for Our Nation Sports Show on Twitter, facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, Twitter, Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. You know, all the specifics and all that good shit. Like, subscribe. Please get us to 100 subscribers. We can get that custom URL. All right, it's time to close it out. Even though the gentlemen are here, for Stephen Wyan, for Kevin Rory, for Randy Giron, and for Joseph Thornton, I am Ezra Vickrey, and we will see you right here next week for another great edition of Our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody. Oh, yeah!
Turn me up.